Hello, 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 and welcome back everybody to one more installment of the Dimas Wine Shop and Tasting Room video. My name is Dylan, and we are here talking about the week of Ladies' Choice. So Ladies' Choice is all the ladies here, including Ron, have decided what wines are going to be choosing. So this is Serena, Yvonne, Melissa, Christine, Kristen. They've all decided. Now this was a unanimous wine amongst them. So this here is a Chablis. It comes from Domaine Langue de Paquet is the region that it comes from. It's a Chablis, which is always 100% Chardonnay. 10 months on the lees, all stainless steel. It's considered a Burgundian wine, but it's actually closer to Champagne. But just think of like really bright, acidic wines that go great with food. It's actually just right outside of Paris is how close it is to kind of the colder weather. And then also think of like white flowers, flinty, bright acidity, and I think you'll find that this wine is very rewarding when it comes to great food. And here we are now in Paso Robles. This is the Adelaida. This is Christine's pick. This is the 2012 Grenache. This is a Paso Robles estate wine. Absolutely love this wine. I love what Adelaida's been doing for a long time. We've been carrying these wines here for years now. 100% Grenache, all done in neutral oak, real peppery. It's got good acidity and it tastes like cranberries. So for those of you that are thinking about stocking up some of those Thanksgiving wines, here's a real great option. And here's a shop favorite. A lot of people at the shop get this regularly. This is the Windy Oaks. We introduced this wine probably about a year ago when we were doing some of the classes for California. But this is their 2013 Pinot Noir. This is a small little 30-acre parcel. It's called Los Carolitos, and it is in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's lighter in color, and it's got that garnet, but it's really packed with flavor. It's barrel aged in French oak, of course. And then as far as what the flavors are, think of like bright cherries with a little bit of spice. But really, just what an amazing crowd pleaser this is. And here we have Serena's pick, and it's a real, of course it's very appropriate for the theme. It's the Girls on the Vineyard. This is the 2013 Cabernet Sauvignon. It's got a California designation. It is French oak, but just think of like flavors of like cassis and currants, which is just good classic Cabernet Sauvignon. Silky tannins. A real crowd pleaser for people that are just starting to learn how to taste Cabernet Sauvignon and they don't want those big overwhelming tannins. This is a great option. And next up with Melissa's choice, we've got the Muscardini. This is a Michael Muscardini wine. Speaking of Michael Muscardini, he was just here a couple of weeks back and he tasted with just a few of us. We really got to talk about his wines, but this is his Zinfandel, which comes from a specific vineyard called La Chamazelle, which apparently his house sits up above it. And it is, like I said, a Sonoma Valley wine. It's 100% Zinfandel. Actually, it does have a little bit of Petit Syrah to it. But La Chamazelle is specifically within the Moon Mountain District. This is their 2012 effort. It's a blend of mostly French oak, but he does say that there is some American oak in here. Cocoa, licorice, cedar, big ripe berries, and a good level of spice. What a beautiful wine. And next up is Kristen's pick, and she chose the very appropriate wine for her. This is the Atria. This is the 2013 Old Soul Red. You know, she's so young but so mature. Made by Saraceno Wines, which is up in the upper Russian River. 42% Zinfandel, 26% Petit Syrah, 22% Malbec, 10% Syrah. This is done in a combination of French-American oak, of which 20% is new, for a total of 18 months. Really, what a well-blended, well-made wine. Just think of like black plum spice. It does have an earthy finish to it. And this is made by John Fetzer. For those of you that remember the Fetzer wines where it used to say Johannesburg Riesling in the 80s and 90s, they were oftentimes known as jug wines. Well, that was a huge conglomerate that was put out by Fetzer, and he has since sold that. And this is a family winery that they have. So enjoy the tasting. And next up is Kristen's pick, and she chose the very appropriate wine for her. This is the Atria. This is the 2013 Old Soul Red. You know, she's so young but so mature. Made by Saraceno Wines, which is up in the upper Russian River. 42% Zinfandel, 26% Petit Syrah, 22% Malbec, 10% Syrah. This is done in a combination of French-American oak, of which 20% is new, for a total of 18 months. Really, what a well-blended, well-made wine. Just think of like black plum spice. It does have an earthy finish to it. And this is made by John Fetzer. For those of you that remember the Fetzer wines, where it used to say Johannesburg Riesling in the 80s and 90s, they were oftentimes known as jug wines. Well, that was a huge conglomerate that was put out by Fetzer, and he has since sold that, and this is a family winery that they have. So enjoy the tasting. And have we got a list of events coming up? Don't forget September 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. That's a Saturday. We'll have live music. We have the Old World wine classes that are going to start on September 19th, so that's a week away. From 6:30 to 8:30 every Monday night for 5 weeks. Now let me just go through the schedule with you. We're going to be doing an introduction to the Old World, and then Spain and Portugal the first week, also known as the Iberian Peninsula. Then on the second and third week we'll be doing France. On the fourth week we'll be doing Italy, and then we'll be finishing up with Japan, ironically, because we're going to be doing some sake, Germany and Austria. So we're going to be trying some great, not only white wines, but obviously some really good white wines. We have the Champagne class. We have somebody that will be here all the way from the Champagne region. We'll be here with Christoph talking about Champagne, and that takes place on November 7th from 6:30 to 8:30. And then just also coming up in the next couple of weeks, I know a lot of you have asked what the schedule is. We have fall wines coming up next week after the girls week, and then we'll have dinner for two, in which we'll be doing the list of wines along with a recipe that pairs with each one of those. So you can see we've got a lot of fun things coming up, and we look forward to seeing you here at the shop. And stay classy as always, San Dimas.